This in front of me here today is the Gear4music amp sim and multi-effects pedal, and today we're going to go over why this accessible piece of gear is almost a must-have in your arsenal. Now, as you can see, it's a little multi-effects pedal here, and it boasts quite a few cool features. So firstly, as you can see, it is a USB-C input on the back, which means this bad boy is battery powered, which means it is portable. It's something you can chuck in your gig bag and you can use in many different situations. So for example, if you want to use this as your main gigging rig, you can do. It's 8 hours battery life, so you're not going to be caught out anywhere on stage or anything like that unless you're playing a mammoth of a set like your Guns N' Roses or your Pink Floyd. And because it's not constrained by a power supply, it's something you can have as a portable unit to take anywhere. So if you're traveling, you can just chuck it in your bag with your guitar. You can put it on your desk at home. It's something you can take around to your friends and have just, you know, a really cool little diverse unit in the palm of your hand. Now, it's diverse because it has 80 presets also. There are 40 pre-made presets in here and 40 empty banks that you yourself can fill with a various amount of different sounds. Those sounds powered by 20 different amp models, as well as 20 different cabinets and a whole host of different multi-effects. It's an incredibly easy and versatile unit to have. And today we're going to go over making a couple of patches and really getting some really cool sounds out of it. So let's jump into that. What we're going to do first is I'm going to turn the unit on. It's just a switch on the back here, bam, just like that, and it lights up just like this. Now, the first thing and most important thing in my mind is that this pedal has a tuner. So to access the tuner, you just press these two buttons down here and you have a bright tuner on the front. As you can see, you've got a reference of 440 Hertz, so your standard, and you can also do a mode mute. So if you don't want anyone to hear you tuning, preferable for someone like me, you can do that, or you can select to hear and bypass it, so you can actually have it just going straight through. I would personally suggest using mute because nobody wants to hear you tune really, unless you're tuning in something crazy. As you can see, it was super easy to access and edit. So on the right side here, we have a edit switch, which is just a press down and it will access either or here, and it is a 360 rotator, so you know, just go whenever. And we've got quite a few different parameters once you get into the modules themselves. So if we go out the tuner and then we go here. So we're presented with the screen. The model itself has 6 different blocks in here, which are an effects block, an amp block, a modulation block, a delay, reverb, and a cabinet, as well as your home block. Now these are accessible via a jelly button here. And as you can see, what is lit up on the screen is lit up on here. So it's super easy to access and go through all your different buttons here, super responsive. Go back to your home. Now, as mentioned, today what we want to do is make a really nice sounding preset, something that we want to use. So what we do is we go through our different presets here. So let's scroll here, select P28, which is our presets, and use the encoder just to go to P41. So this is where the empty blocks start, and it is immediately a wealth of what you want to do with it. So you start with an amp. We're just going to use this Gibson Les Paul standard here to create a cool tone with today. Obviously we'll tune up first, make sure that we're all in tune, because otherwise it'll sound absolutely awful. You can see it's a very bright screen, it's very responsive, so that's a really good thing to have on a unit like this. It really makes it an all-in-one unit that you can kind of take anywhere. And you know, even at the price it is, you've got tuners that are worse than this. So it's a really good opportunity to have that there. So we're in tune. What do we want to do next? We want to go to our amp. So I select amp, and immediately it brings up 5 different parameters here, as well as a scrolling scribble up there, which denotes and tells you what the amplifier setting is. So it's a little bit muted at the moment, and we press edit and we can scroll through different options here. As mentioned before, there are 20 different ones. So we've got a USA Clean 1, UK Classic again, UK Rock, UK classics, rock, metal, German metal. With the names, you can kind of guess what you're going to be getting with it. So I want to go for something, you know, we'll go UK classic, see what this sounds like. I'll press amp. As you can see, it's lit up, which now means you'll get something that sounds a little distorted at the moment. There we go, we've got a sound. It's distorted because at the moment it's just the preamp, there's no cabinet IR. What we're gonna have to do now, add a cabinet IR. Just click cab, and then lo and behold, we have once again 20 different presets that you can scroll through and choose. And you can also upload your own cabinets via the app, which we'll talk about later. But for now, we'll go for we've got a UK classic sound, so let's go for UK classic cab. Makes sense. Immediately off the cuff, without even touching anything, we've got a really nice rock sound which you can play along and have a really versatile sound. You can pull back, we've got a little bit clean. The fact that you've got that dynamic range on just the volume knob alone, really brilliant. So go back to amp. I quite like the tone immediately, as I say, off the bat. Let's make an amendment to pull back the gain a bit. So we scroll through the edit, so just click through and we are on the gain now. Let's pull that down a bit. Wicked, so selected that there. Level, that's about right. Bass is good, treble, oh, there we go, go to treble. Pull that back a tiny bit. Awesome, so we've got a really nice usable bass tone here that we can just rock with. So as mentioned, we have an effects. This is in front of the amp at this moment in time. We have a noise gate. Then we can also scroll through. So we've got a boost. So if you want a bit of a front end boost, which I might engage later, and then a compressor as well. So if you're playing like your cleaner stuff, you want to make sure that every note is heard, compressor is a great option to have. As mentioned, I kind of like the idea of a boost, so. Actually, I think I'll go without the boost. I quite like that sound as is. Right, so we've got a good core sound. Let's explore the modulation, the delay, and the reverb. So modulation, I'm a massive fan of chorus. And let's see if we've got a chorus in here. So firstly, we're greeted with a tremolo. Let's go through flanger, vibrato, univibe, an auto filter. And then if we go left, there's the chorus. You can't have a pedal like this without a chorus. So let's engage that. Once again, press. It's a little bit 80s for me at the moment. So pull it back. Let's go to the depth. Pull the depth back a tiny bit. So really nice usable chorus sound there. Nothing too overly, chorusy, but something on the back end so you can just hear the modulation there, which is really good. Delay, so look how quickly it was, just straight over. You know that the pedal's engaged because it's highlighted here. So if you want to go back to the modulation, get rid of that, immediately it's off, super responsive. So go back to the delay. So let's engage the delay, see what options we have. We've got an analog delay, a duck delay, D-tape. I like the sound of that because I like the option of a grit. Dual delay, a lo-fi. Okay, so 5 different delays, really, really good. Let's go to a D-tape, see what this sounds like. cool. We've got a bit of the grit at the back end. So a really cool feature that we have here is you can see that it's flashing quite quick. So that kind of denotes your time that you've got. This right foot switch here, you can see that the time is changing. So this acts almost as though it's a tap tempo. So if I have a specific song that I'm using this unit with, and I'm going through, say you're in a cover band and your set consists of 12 different songs, you're doing a U2 song, so a specific tempo, set your preset on 12 here, you got your tap tempo already set, lo and behold, you got a brilliant sound. So let's see. Nice little tail off there. So. Nice, there's a little wobble in there as well, which is really cool. So scroll through, let's go to the grit, a little bit more grit in there maybe. Yeah, you can kind of hear it gritty on the back end of the tail there. So yeah, once again, really great sound. I want that in there, so keep that there. Reverb, let's go through different reverbs. So you've got your standard kind of room, we've got a hall reverb, swell, spring, and a shimmer. Now, I won't be using the shimmer on this preset specifically, but I do really like the sound of a shimmer reverb, so let's give this a go. So, gauge that here. Let's go to something like... That's a really lovely ethereal back end to that, so having that kind of sound in a pedal that's this accessible is cracking, really. If I was any good player like Eric Johnson, I'd be loving that right now. It's not really the tone that we're going for right now, but to have it there is really great and adds a really nice depth to the sound. So get rid of the reverb on that, and I think actually, off the bat there, that's a wicked little sound straight from that, and it was super easy to do, and it was incredibly easy to just create that sound. But if you want a little bit more versatility, this does also have an app. Now, there is Bluetooth connectivity to this, so how do you access the Bluetooth connectivity? We just press home, hold that down, Bluetooth currently off, and then we put it on, Bluetooth is currently on. You download the companion app, we scan for the unit, the unit has appeared, we connect. Lo and behold, the amp sim has now connected. So, say if I was having this on the floor and I didn't want to bend down or do anything and just do it from the app. If I go and, it turns out I want that boost, so keep an eye on the effects unit there. Press that and turn it on here, and there we go. It's super responsive and has immediately come in. Say I don't want the modulation on, turn that off, it's gone off on the screen here. The power of the app is phenomenal to have. It's something that's just easy there in your pocket. You don't have to bend down. You can make little tiny adjustments without making any sort of drastic changes, and you can really quickly access them as well. So the app is a really good companion piece to have alongside it. And as mentioned, you can also upload your own cabinet impulse responses into this via the app. So that is a really premium feature for a very accessible price point. Now, I'm happy with that delay. I'm happy with that amp tone. I'm happy with the effect. I want to save it so that I can recall preset 41. It's as simple as press save on here, and then the save successful. If I want to save it to a different patch, so at the moment it says it's currently P41, I can actually replace and overwrite any patches that I would like. For now, I'll just keep it in P41. There we go. So if we go from this, then go to an empty patch in P22. Bit spiky, sorry there, Rick. And then go back. Super quick, super easy, and really good tone for very little fiddling around. So that is how easy it is to make a really great patch on the Gear4music amp sim and multi-effects. It's an incredibly accessible pedal, it's very portable. The fact that it's got 8 hours battery life, has a robust case like this, the app, the sounds, you can upload your own IRs. It's a fantastic bit of gear. You can have so much fun with something like this, integrate into your current rig, put it as something in your bag that you want to take around anywhere, or you can rock entire stages with it. The Gear4music amp sim and multi-effects is an incredibly fun piece of gear and is available right now on gear4music.com. Thank you for watching. Take care.